Hey everyone, I'm meteorologist Michael Priante. We have another weather video for you. I'm joined with, as always, Mike Mihalik. Hey Mike, how's it going?
Pretty good, but hey, we finally have a snowstorm, Mike.
Finally. Well,
Let's talk about it a little bit, huh?
I'm excited about it. I don't know about you, but I'm excited to talk about some snow. Not your classic, nor'easter,
No.
a foot or more of snow all across the I-95, but it's something. We haven't had a lot of snow in a while, so we'll take as much as we can get.
Exactly.
Going forward here. So this is January 14th. On a Tuesday. Let's take a look and see what we're looking at. Of course, we have our model suite, the GFS, the Canadian, and the Euro, which all are kind of on the same idea in terms of timing and general amounts. There's not really a huge difference. We'll show you what we're looking at. But first, starting off with the good old American model, the GFS.
Good old?
Well...
Okay, we'll just go with it.
Some people will say that the GFS is not the greatest model.
GFS hasn't been too bad as of late.
It hasn't, but in years past, it hasn't really performed as well.
Yeah.
But we're going forward here. So this is about Saturday morning, and we see that shield of snow is out toward western Maryland, PA. This is about 8 o'clock in the morning. We go forward one more frame. It jumps to the afternoon. So there's going to be snow that comes in, I'd say, late morning to the early afternoon.
Yeah, especially
Saturday.
if you're in Pennsylvania, eastern Pennsylvania, and eastern Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey. Probably looking at during the late morning hours into about midday. So maybe like a 9 to 12 sort of window at this point in time. Yeah, warm front moving in with this storm. So while this comes in, pretty quickly in the morning, it's not going to last all that long. I mean, maybe 6 hours worth of snow, maybe 8 hours worth of snow, right?
Possibly, but it does come in fairly heavy.
Yeah.
I know it only maybe a small amount of time for the snow to fall, but we could be talking 1 inch an hour. I honestly wouldn't rule out 2 inch an hour in some spots. Maybe not 2 inch an hour for like 6 hours, but it could come down fairly heavy.
Yeah, it's not out of the question, certainly, with these type of setups, because these typically come in with a lot of warm air advection, so you have a lot of moisture that develops, and it comes down, heavily, for a brief period of time. We like to call them a thump kind of snow. That's what we go with.
Yeah, this is definitely a thump, because you notice, as Mike mentioned, a lot of that warm air, it's showing rain all the way through that 78 corridor, New Jersey. Still snowing in the interior. This is by Sunday or Saturday evening, and then Sunday morning, the low starts wrapping up, and actually, the GFS has it basically dry by the morning on Sunday for most of the area, but it turns windy, though.
Yeah, absolutely, and if you want to go to the next model, just to show that it's not just the GFS here, here's the Euro. It's certainly showing the same sort of setup. The snow comes in with the warm front, a good shot of snow, might even change over to rain. Further south you go towards Philadelphia, down towards the coast of New Jersey.
Yeah.
Even across the interior up towards the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania and northern Jersey could end as rain, but I think the bulk of that there probably be in the form of snow before that changeover.
Yeah, and the Euro likes to show a little bit of a mixing. It really doesn't look like it's going to be a big mix event. It's kind of the delineator between rain and snow. Obviously, the bigger takeaway out of this, Mike, is the I-95 is going to be that borderline of where you end up more rain than snow. I think everyone starts as snow, but whoever stays as mostly snow throughout this event before it changes over at the end, I think it's going to be northwestern interior New Jersey, Pennsylvania, western Mass, etc.
Yeah, and I think it'll be plowable amounts for a lot of areas. And notice there with that last slide that just showed up here that Mike forwarded it into there, warm air moves into southern New England here, so actually where it comes in earlier back across eastern Pennsylvania might actually get more snowfall than places in southern Connecticut, Rhode Island, eastern Massachusetts, that sort of thing.
Of course, and it does show, this exiting by Sunday morning, not a whole lot of precip, and then it's basically just windy and dry on Sunday. And then our final model here, the Canadian model, again, no huge difference here. Comes in the afternoon, has a little bit more mixing across south central PA, but again, look at that good thump of snow in eastern PA and Jersey, that rain snow line right along the I-95. This is by the evening. And then it warms up to rain all across, and it actually gets further north in New Jersey, but it's still snow across the interior, and New England is snowing in the morning, and then of course they go over to rain by Sunday morning, and then it's out of there. So
quick snowstorm. Fortunately, it comes on Saturday, so we don't have to worry about driving to work and things like that. So that's timed out pretty well.
Right.
But still can get quite hazardous if we have those inch-an-hour rates that come down with that snow. And here's a good snow map here to show you. I mean, this is the GFS right now. This is what the model is outputting. It's not what we're forecasting
not
right
by
now.
any means.
But it's just to give an idea of what we can be seeing with this storm. And like we see here on the map, heavier amounts across Pennsylvania there, lighter amounts in southern New England. Yeah, it could be 3 to 6 type variety. Southern New England more like a 1 to 3, 2 to 4 type deal.
Right. And of course, these are other maps too. This is the European, a little bit warmer in south central PA, but again, the same idea. It has 3 to 6 inches for parts of the interior. As you go further north, obviously some more snow where they're staying colder, and this is also additional snow throughout the week that they may be getting. So this isn't all from one storm, but still the idea is the same even on the Canadian as well. It's basically good plowable storm, not 6 to 10 inches of snow, unfortunately.
No, we're not looking.
Foot.
I mean, there could be a few places that go over 6 inches, maybe towards like Mount Pocono or something in Pennsylvania, Northeast PA, maybe the Catskills, something like that. But with this storm, I mean, it's pretty much limited to that 3 to 6, maybe 8-inch type snowstorm.
Exactly.
It's not one that's going to end up to be a historic blizzard or anything like that. It's just not in the cards with this system.
It's not the setup for this either. We're not at that sweet spot to get the storm bombing off the coast as we typically would see with a classic nor'easter. We just have enough cold air at the onset to keep this as mostly snow before it goes over to rain as warm air takes in. But, we'll be keeping an eye on this all week. Of course, we are WeatherWorks, your weather experts. Follow us on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and like the video, comment, tell us how we did, and if you have any other improvements that we could do, we'll gladly accept it. And as always, you can follow us at our website at weatherworksinc.com.